Six Flags Magic Mountain, a park that contains 19 roller coasters that lead from the smallest kiddie coasters to some of the most thrilling roller coasters in the world. But there's one roller coaster that I feel like gets overlooked and overhated a lot in the park, and it's in the Scream Punk District section, and that is Scream. And today we're going to be reviewing that underrated coaster. Let's get into this. What's up guys, Cam here. Before we get into today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn off notifications. Now we are back again. Today we are going to be reviewing Scream at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Now this ride is largely overlooked in my opinion. It is a great ride overall, but I really want to get into it first. Now before we get into the coaster itself, I need to talk about something. Whenever I look at Google Earth or something, it's very hard to find the entrance of this ride and where like the entrance goes. But when I go to the park itself, it's not that hard, which kind of confuses me a little bit. But that doesn't really matter right now. So we usually go into that queue, and the queue isn't really much to talk about. It's just some trees, you know, everything. It actually has better theming than the coaster itself, but I do not care about the theming about the coaster. The coaster's theming is alright, in my opinion. It's solid. But now that's gonna be a controversial opinion because there's no theming, but I don't really care about the theming. The sign itself, actually, for Scream, I think the logo is surprisingly iconic for the ride itself. I really like the Scream Ride Out Loud. I think they did a pretty solid job of turning this ride into a little bit of a like steampunk style, adding a little bit of steampunk here and there. I do think they could have added like some moving gears or something. The ride overall, if they were to do it a little bit of a repaint, I wouldn't mind a repaint to make it like brown and another color or stuff, but the ride never does get lines either. That's what surprises me. It's one of the most thrilling coasters in the park, but it doesn't get many lines. But it's also in the back of the park, so I'm not gonna lie, it's whatever. But let's hop into this. So you start off in the loading station, and the cool thing about a floorless coaster, there's no floor. So how it works is that the platform comes up, and you start the ride in a like weird position. You get in, the harness goes over you, and then you ride. Now the harness itself, it's pretty large, but it's not really too large. I rode it twice. The first time was pretty alright, but the harness got in the way a little bit the second time, so that was not really the best in my opinion, but it was the best. So we're gonna hop into it. On the little drop after that, it's a pretty good like opener of the ride. You go into this little like tiny drop into the lift hill, so like you know you are on Scream now. So yeah, I really do like the drop of this ride too. I feel like the drop is heavily underrated because you go on and then you just turn immediately into like a different direction, which is pretty awesome. Gives a pretty good G's. Yeah, you just hop off of that lift hill, go into the little turn, and you go into the drop of the ride. Now the drop is actually surprisingly good in my opinion. You go down a little bit, get some of those forces, and then you head into a vertical loop. And that vertical loop is pretty good. I do enjoy the loop a lot. Yeah. Let's see. So you go through the loop again, you turn, and then you head into a little bit of a like roll, which is pretty good. I enjoy all the elements on this ride, so I'm gonna say that every element is good. But head into the little roll there, and then you go back down and into a little 0G roll. Now that is a pretty good opener into one of the most iconic parts of the ride, which is the Cobra roll. The Cobra roll gets you through one, and then it gets you into another. This Cobra roll is pretty good, but it does hurt a little bit once you're going to like the second one, through the like second part of the Cobra roll. It hurts your head a little bit. It might smack your head a little bit. That's what happened to me. It made me a little bit tireder for the rest of the day, but in my opinion, it's still pretty solid. So, and then you go into it, you go down, and then you head into a mid-course brake run, which kind of does suck that you have to go into a mid-course, but it doesn't slow down the train too much. It just speeds through the mid-course a lot. Like unlike Goliath where it stops you, which I actually don't mind the mid-course on Goliath. It gives, I think, okay, we need to talk about this for a moment. The Goliath mid-course is good. Do not judge me. It like once you like stop and then you go whoa, yeah, we need to focus on Scream right now. So you go through this little turn and then into a like little twist, and it looks really good. And then you go into a corkscrew, the first of the two, and into another little turn, and then into another corkscrew, which I also very much like. And it meanders around a little bit, goes through a little airtime hill, into a turn, and into the brake run. Now that is it for the ride, and then you leave the ride. Of course, it's a little bit of a longer brake run, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a good solid brake run. But yeah, that is really it for Scream right now. So what are some thoughts on Scream? Now, Scream is a great ride. I really do enjoy what they did with Scream. I know it's a bit of a mirrored layout of Medusa at Six Flags Great Adventure, but I think it's pretty solid. I don't really mind the parking lot theming that they have on Scream. I think it actually works kind of well. Do not judge. But it's pretty solid. I think it's a massively underrated coaster. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say except, it kind of hurt my head a little bit. But what ride does not hurt your head a little bit when it has those like bulky over-the-shoulder restraints? But they kind of need those. But I'm not gonna speak any more about those. Overall, I'm going to give this ride a 8.5 out of 10. A really underrated attraction at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I do believe that it could use a little bit more love in the future, with maybe a little bit more theming, I don't really care about the theming right now, but I think they could have themed like the station a little bit. Maybe a repaint wouldn't be bad. But I do believe that they could just use a new coaster, but don't replace Scream. Scream is great. Scream, yeah, I don't really get the hate for Scream a lot. It's just one of the best rides in the park, in my opinion. I think it's like top 3 at the park. I haven't rode Twisted Colossus and Wonder Woman yet. I really need to ride those the next time I go, but the lines are just too long for those. I was able to get multiple rides on Scream, which is all that matters. Scream was a great ride. I really liked it. One more thing I need to mention about Scream is that they placed Darude Sandstorm in the station, which is really great. I honestly really like the Darude Sandstorm. Darude Sandstorm. Yeah, that's really about it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed the review of Scream at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Tell me if you would like some more reviews. I'm planning on making more reviews of more rides, such as like I already made a West Coast Racers one. Just another roller coaster in the future. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and thank you to the off-ride footage users that I use. It's probably either Airtime Thrills, Kenobi Coasters, or Coaster Thrills. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.